For today, I am changing a CV joint. That's a constant velocity joint, which is actually I can point out to you that is this one, but it comes from here up to behind here, and it's connected to the shafter. So I'm going through it. I'm first removing it, then you'll see the process how I'm going to fit it back. So you like yeah. So you start by removing this. This is a thyroid end. You remove it, but you know this is Africa. You check when you're doing something, you keep checking. So you can see it's fine. So I open here and fasten these bolts with my tools, as you're seeing, and this one. So unfasten this, unfasten this. I'm moving over again, and fasten like this. Remove these bolts. Make you now done so.
That's one.
Remove them. And remove them. And fasten this also. I'm using inch 19 size of the spanner to remove these bolts, and I'm going to start replacing a CV joint, which is a constant velocity joint. I already removed it from where it's being, but before you replace it, you have to check, because I'm working from a village out of the workshop, but already I have tools that I can do. This is Africa, so I have already things that I can use. So I put this across like this, then I get another one, another piece of a grass like this. This helps me to count how many spines are here, so that I can know which number of CV joint I can put, because these shafters vary in numbers. The spines vary in numbers. You have 23 and you have 24, so I'm going to count. And this is like, for example, this CV joint I've brought, it's this CV joint I'm going to fix, it's having 24, 56, and so others are here side. So I count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24. So this shafter goes in a CV joint, which is a number 24. So this is the number identification you can use to identify it, but at least you try to be clean, avoid sun around it. So I'm going to open it because the size is 24. So inside it, so I open it. So I open it like this. So inside it has a rubber boot. It has a grease, set of grease, and this is the CV joint itself. So I'm opening it also like this. So it's the one. So it has also this lockers for the rubber boot, and it has this nut for here. So this rubber boot covers here, and it has a C-ring lock. This one here, this one sits at the shafter here in this hole. This lock here sits here, but now I have even the old one is here. But when I check the old one looks to be giving it good space. I mean, sits well better than this new one, because new one looks to be sitting a little bit lazy. So I can still confirm it by checking this shafter well, whether this enters well. I feel it's entering and all the spines are getting into the right position. So the first thing I do, I get this lock. I get this lock and I brace it. So I have in my toolbox, I have screwdrivers. So this ring lock. You tell me. After putting this ring lock, I get my, because this strong ring lock is the one that prevents this shafter from coming out. So this shafter, this will enter inside and this wrong lock will remain inside there. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place it in. So when I place it in, I'm going to check how my ring lock is sitting. This one here. So it's seated like it's out. So I just put it, I position it in a way that it enters inside. It enters inside. It enters inside here, such that I am able to push my shafter well. I'm able to push my shafter well. Well, it enters in. So I'm going to lock it inside, put it inside, and it will sit. So you can see it entering. You can see it around entering well. So as I hit slightly, so I need to use a hammer, but I think I've got a hammer, but I'll go to clean it a bit because it's dirty. It's dirty, so I have to remove the sand out of it and clear it outside where I'm doing from. So I get it back. So I put it well in position. I hit it. But so when I hear that sound, pop, it means that it has now entered. So here you can't pull it out. So now I prefer using a grease of my own choice. What I think as experience I've been using doing this, I feel like I'm not comfortable with this, but I want to use one I brought. This one here. So I open it. So I press it. This one is made in a provision way. So I'm going to use my hands for fitting the grease inside. So you make sure the grease enters inside this. So this grease here helps the lubrication, and most cases when this grease is over here, it's not inside here, this thing starts making noise. It starts eating the cones. The bearing starts eating the cone and creates space. And when it creates that space there, most cases when you're negotiating a corner, turning a corner, negotiating depending on the way you know, it makes some kind of funny noise like popping noise, depending on how you hear. Most cases when you're negotiating a corner. So I have to play this thing to make sure that the grease is totally inside as I try to place some more inside. So this thing has to be fully lubricated because it takes enough grease. So I put it in like this, as you can see. So you don't need to put much again, because when you put much of the lubricant, what happens is that it keeps pushing out the rubber boot, forcing it out. So the advantage is that when you put the little, not very much, but as you can see the size that I put. So this is enough. This is all right. Clean here very well. Now my rubber boot is okay. I can put it back. This rubber boot is to keep this thing from dust. This rubber boot keeps dust from entering inside here. That affects the bearings from their functions and cause what they call friction also inside. So you can see that I have put this. So this is the process of fitting the CV joint. So the reason why I fitted this CV joint is to remove that ugly sound. It's really shaming when you're driving and you're turning, negotiating a corner, and then two, when a bearing jumps off, when those holes become wider and the bearing jumps off, the car has a tendency of failing to move from position because the shaft will just rotate inside here and the tire will not spin to move. That is the reason why we replace these CV joints, and that's why we need these CV joints in the car. So most people replace them majorly because of hamper,